Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Neha. I welcome you all to today's special session on how to prepare yourself for writing new proposals in 2022. This webinar is organized by Funds for NGOs, one of the leading fundraising websites around the world. Today's webinar will run for 45 minutes, and at the end, we'll also have 15 minutes of Q&A session. If you have any questions, please use the question box on your webinar screen to post them, and our experts will be happy to answer them. We have hundreds of participants from all across the world. I welcome you all once again. It gives me immense pleasure to announce that in Funds for NGOs premium platform, we have added a new feature of training courses. These training courses are designed to assist NGOs to build up their capacities in fundraising, proposal writing, resource mobilization, donor prospect research, and NGO management. If you are interested to know more about our training programs, please visit the link mentioned in the chat box. We would also like to inform you that we are currently offering a 50% discount for signing up for the premium membership. This discount is valid for a limited time only, and you may sign up by visiting the link shared with you in the chat box. Let's discuss the objective of this webinar. This session aims to prepare NGOs and development professionals for writing new proposals for applying for grants and donor partnerships in 2022. As we are in the new year, the demand to search for new grants and write proposals becomes even more challenging. Nevertheless, opportunities are plenty, and NGOs have access to information critical for raising funds successfully. This webinar will provide tools and knowledge on how to apply by planning and writing effective proposals. So let's start by discussing the step towards preparing yourself for writing a proposal. The first step towards preparing yourself is to identify your donors. Now, a question might come to your mind that why is it necessary to identify donors? Well, the answer to that question is when you identify your donor, the chances of successfully raising funds are higher. This is because you are targeting the right donor at the right time. And as we all know that donors are motivated to fund if their vision matches with that of the grantee. So when you identify donors with similar vision, it is easier to raise funds from them. In Funds for NGOs Premium, we have an excellent training course from Noriko Naoki on researching the right donors for your NGO. This course will give you an overview of how you can research and identify donors for prospective fundraising. Now that you have researched and identified your donors, you need to prepare a list of the most potential donors. Usually, we maintain a donor database. If you are wondering how to develop a donor database, then please refer to the training course by Shidinma Ikora on how to develop and use a donor database for your NGO. Please note that if you sign up for our premium membership platform, you will get access to these training courses for a period of 12 months. Well, it's a really nice deal, I must say. Now, moving forward to another slide, writing proposals for funding is one of the most crucial aspects of any NGO. Proposals are important for any organization as they decide the success or failure of an organization. No matter how big or small your organization is, you cannot get away from writing a project proposal. As an NGO staff, you might be aware that the primary purpose of a project proposal is to convince the donor agency to fund your project. It is thus important for you to write a proposal that is innovative and practical and at last methodological. The purpose of this webinar is to help NGOs in developing proposals to convince donors to fund their respective projects and enhance their proposal writing capacity in 2022. I hope you use this webinar in improving your fundraising endeavors. Good luck. Let's move forward to the principles of writing a proposal. When you start writing a proposal, you need to remember the basic principle of a good proposal. Today, we will look at these basic principles, which one should keep in mind while writing the proposal. Adhering to the principles will not only help you in developing a proposal that is complete in all respects, but will also increase the chances of your proposal winning a particular grant. We have 9 principles. So let's talk about them one by one. The first and the most important step in writing a winning proposal is to read the instructions given by the donor and then follow all the instructions while preparing your response. This means you have to follow the guidelines and complete everything that has been asked in the application form. Be sure that you understand all of the requirements included in the application guidelines or solicitation. The second principle is start early. It is important for you to start early and timely submit the proposal. If you want your proposal to win you a particular grant, you must keep sufficient time to craft the proposal and complete the necessary formalities like online registration and submission of documents, etc., that are required in the application process. Hastily written proposals create a negative impression of your organization, and you are viewed as someone who is not a serious contender for the grant. The third principle is clear your doubts by asking questions. The process of writing and submitting the proposal can be confusing, and you might need support from the donor agency. If you face any doubt or query during the application process, feel free to contact the point of contact in the donor agency. Write a clear and convincing proposal. You might have the most innovative idea for solving a social problem, but unless it is presented, it will be of no use. When writing a proposal, always write clearly and persuasively. Write only what is important and mention the facts that strengthen your case. Write the proposal to convey necessary information to the reader so that he can clearly understand your project proposal. You should avoid writing stories and irrelevant things in the proposal. You know what? Reviewers have to go through several proposals from worldwide, so your objective should be to make your case clear in a few pages and not to overburden them with unnecessary details. Moving forward to the fifth principle, that is, bring in innovative ideas and elements in the project. Most donors support organizations that can innovate and come up with innovative and different ideas in their project proposal. Try to incorporate some creativity in any of the project elements, be it service delivery, communication channels, or adoption of technology, which brings me to the sixth principle: use data and facts to support your case. While writing the project rationale, quote facts and figures as evidence to your problem. These facts can be from data that your organization has collected, or can be from researched articles, government reports, or news articles, etc. Make sure that the data you quote is up to date and is from the credible source. Avoid using if it is outdated and you are not sure of the source. The seventh principle, you must keep in mind that always avoid using jargons and technical language. Try to use simple, easy to understand language throughout the proposal. The reader or reviewer of the proposal may not necessarily be an expert in the particular field and may not be aware of technical words. So, always, I repeat, always try to use simple words to explain your problem and solution. Moving forward to the eighth principle of writing a proposal, it is always a good idea to get the proposal reviewed by your colleagues or board members. Many organizations also get their proposals reviewed by a cold reader. Now, who is a cold reader? He is a person who was not involved in the project writing. So when the reviewer has reviewed the proposal, the next step that you need to follow is go through the comments given by the reviewers and try to accommodate their suggestions, criticisms, and correct errors and omissions suggested by them. The review helps in improving the quality of the proposal. Go through the proposal again and again to remove unnecessary details, grammatical and factual errors. While revising the proposal, make sure that your proposal is as per the guidelines, clearly links the objectives and activities. And last but not the least is error free. Continuing further to the ninth principle, which says avoid plagiarism. Be sure that the proposal is edited properly and has been checked for plagiarism. In case you have used a paragraph, data, facts, or other information from any article, be sure to give credit to all your sources. You can paraphrase, quote, or include a reference page at the end of the proposal to avoid plagiarism. You know what? Many agencies use anti-plagiarism software. And the moment your proposal shows signs of plagiarism, it can be disqualified. I repeat, it can be disqualified. So always be sure that the proposal is edited properly and has been checked for plagiarism. So that was all about principles of writing a proposal. For those of you just joining us, I welcome you all in today's webinar on how to prepare yourself for writing new proposals in 2022. This webinar is organized by Funds for NGOs, one of the leading websites on fundraising. Coming back to the topic, there are some valuable questions to address before writing the proposal. In this section, we will primarily look at what, why, when, who, how, and all the possible questions you should address before you start writing the proposal. These questions will not only help you in planning better, but also in developing a winning proposal. So when assessing the opportunity, you need to address some questions. For instance, do you have enough time for preparing and submitting the proposal? Are the donors willing to support your cause? Does your organization qualify the eligibility criteria? And there is another set of questions when ready to prepare the proposal. Now that you are sure that you should apply for a particular grant, The following set of questions should be addressed. What do you want to do through the project proposal? Who will be winning the proposal? How is your proposal unique or different? Who are you writing the proposal for? Now, you might know that there are different kinds of donor agencies, and each of them has a different process of grant making. Before you start writing the proposal, you need to know what kind of funding agency you will be applying to. So, it is necessary for you to understand the types of donors and funding opportunities before you start fundraising. Most donors can be classified into the following categories. Number one, foundation donors, corporation donors, individuals, and the last, international donors. Dear participants, please feel free to put up your queries by using the chat box on your screen, and our team of experts here will be glad to clear your doubts. Now let's head to the steps which will help you understand the process involved in developing a proposal. To ease out the entire process for you, we have divided it into the three phases, and each phase further has several steps that are to be completed in order to write a project proposal. Let's discuss these stages in detail. The first phase is preparatory phase. You cannot develop a proposal if you haven't planned well for it. Very often, NGOs just jump into proposal writing the moment they see a call for proposal or a solicitation. Such haste just leads to a failed attempt and a lost opportunity. Whenever you plan to write a proposal, always make a solid plan for it and complete the following steps of the preparatory stage. To begin with, know the donor. Very often, this stage is overlooked by organizations, ultimately leading to a failed attempt. One has to understand that donor agencies receive thousands of letters of support from NGOs around the world. And to be successful, you need to invest time and be patient. Being patient is the key here. Researching the prospect is essential so that you can align your organization to their vision and mission, and this can make a strong case of support. However, this stage is time consuming and requires support from the team members and board members at different stages. Additionally, know your organization. Knowing yourself is as important as knowing the prospect. Along with researching the prospects, you should also conduct in depth research about your organization. It helps to better understand your strengths, weaknesses, and needs. As we all know, that self analysis is important for before you sit down to write the proposal. Furthermore, proposal planning. Now that you are well aware of the needs of the donor as well as your organization, you can start the proposal planning. Project development is the key ingredient that will largely define the success of an NGO. The projects should be developed considering both the organization's vision and the need of the community. Developing a project for social problem requires a lot of research and training. There may be several problems in the community that your organization plans to work for, though it would not be possible to address all the issues at once. And once you are through the planning phase, the next phase of proposal drafting will start. Keeping everything ready before drafting the proposal will reduce last minute rush, and you will be able to respond to the solicitation effectively. So let's see what steps you need to follow in phase two. Develop a proposal calendar. Most requests for proposals or RFPs issued by donor agencies give the organizations a period of 30 to 45 days to prepare their application and submit it. So, what you need to do is make a calendar for your proposal development team starting from the day the solicitation is released. Establish clear and practical deadlines for the team so that the proposal can be drafted, edited, and submitted timely. The calendar should have all the necessary details that are required for submission. Number two, identify partners. If you plan to submit a joint proposal with multiple partners, it is advisable that you speak to your partners about their roles and expectations in advance. While identifying partners, try to focus on organizations that have a good track record and can demonstrate their past performance. Third step in proposal writing is keep all documents available. During application process, you may be required to submit several documents as part of your application. Make a folder containing scanned and attested copies of necessary documents like registration certificate, tax exemption certificates, audited reports, FCRA, bank details, and past performance record, etc. Moving towards the fourth step, read the solicitation very carefully. The solicitation provides important information such as the scope of work, evaluation criteria, eligibility information, and activities that the donor will fund. Be sure that you understand all of the requirements included in the solicitation. Once you have gone through the solicitation, go through it again and mark key information so that you do not forget important things while developing the proposal and completing the application process. Outline the solicitation. Review the section that tells you how to prepare and organize the various sections in your proposal. This section can be called technical proposal guidelines or application format. The technical section of the application will have several subsections which need to be completed by you. Continuing further, review the evaluation criteria. The solicitation clearly describes the evaluation criteria for assessing your response. Study the order of importance and point scale given to each criterion and develop your response to suit the criteria. Typical evaluation criteria include technical expertise, staffing experience, and capabilities, and past performance. Next, ask questions. If you face any doubt or query during the application process, feel free to contact the point of contact. Be sure to contact only those persons who have been mentioned in the solicitation, not anyone else. Also, keep in mind that the questions should be submitted in writing. Once you have gone through the above mentioned sections of the solicitation, now organize a proposal kickoff meeting. This meeting will be attended by your proposal development team, decision makers, and senior team members to finalize the project theme, roles, and deadlines. The next step is proposal drafting. While drafting the technical proposal, follow the format that has been requested in the solicitation and write the details for each section as has been asked. Try to use try to get used to the terminology used in the solicitation and use it while drafting the proposal. This will make your solicitation response stronger. In this phase, the last step is budget. You should strictly follow the template for cost proposal. The cost application budget is generally presented in three basic ways. Excuse me. Number one is summary of the budget, then detailed budget, and budget narrative. You may make a rough budget that you will be needed to carry out the required activities. For making the rough budget, you may use your organization's standard budget format. This rough budget can then be translated to the template required in the solicitation. After the completion of proposal writing phase, you will reach the next phase. That is post-writing stage. Let's discuss the several steps you need to follow in this stage. The first is review the draft. Make sure you have a senior person to review the draft response. The role of the reviewer will be to make sure that all sections of the solicitation response have been completed and fit together. The reviewer will also ensure that basic grammatical, technical, and budgetary errors are removed from your response. The second step is check the solicitation requirements. Once you have completed the solicitation response, try to go through the solicitation requirements once again to ensure that all the sections and requirements have been completed by you. You may see for information related to the page numbers, fonts and font sizes, completion of all sections and subsections, budget, and make sure that you have followed the solicitation instructions properly. The next is submission of appendices. If you wish to submit additional reference materials or documents to support your response, you can submit the same in the form of appendices. Even though appendices are not part of your main response, make sure that you are consistent, accurate, and professional when submitting appendices. Examples of documents that can be included in the appendices are CV of program team members, letters of support, and organizational chart. Remember not to provide unnecessary information to the reviewed. Share information that is required to support your response or have been asked in the solicitation. The last step, respect the deadline. Make certain that your response is prepared timely and submitted within the deadline. Consider the international time or differences in time zone when looking at the date and time. This was all about post-writing stage. Excuse me. A gentle reminder for our participants, please feel free to put up your queries using the chat box. Our team will be glad to clear your doubts. And we are offering a 50% discount for premium membership for a limited time only. To sign for this, please visit the registration link available in the chat box. And after you will sign up and you'll have a premium membership account, you can also access to our newly launched feature of online training courses. Now, let's discuss the structure of a proposal. For a proposal to be successful, it needs to have certain sections that are complete in all respects. In this section, we will understand the vital components of a proposal. There may be different requirements of a donor, and proposals may differ greatly in terms of what a donor agency requires. Most donor agencies will provide you with a journal format or outline of the various project components. Here we are looking at the most important components of a proposal that you should have in your proposal. The first one is project title. A title is the name of your proposal, and when written appropriately, it stands out and draws attention to your proposal. The project title should be able to reflect the focus of your proposal by just having a look at it, which simply means it should be clear and explicit. Many agencies just write proposal on health submitted to XYZ agency, which is that practice which lacks creativity and fails to create an impression or reflect what the proposal is about. This title can be replaced by Health Above All, submitted to XYZ agency. Here, this title is crisp and appropriate to draw the donor's attention towards your proposal. The second component in the structure of a proposal is cover page. It is sometimes also referred to as the title page, and as the name indicates, it is the first page that introduces the document to the reader. The title page provides the reader with basic information regarding the content of the document. The cover page should capture the essence of the project proposal and should immediately catch the attention of the reader. There are many templates available in Microsoft Word and other applications that can be used for designing the proposal cover pages. You can also design your cover page as per your requirements. The third is table of content. The table of content goes after the cover page and provides the reader with an organized list of the various sections and subsections of the proposal. The reader gets a clear idea of the way you have organized the proposal, and they can move to the sections that are most relevant to them. You may write a table of contents manually or your computer or using a word processing tool. The fourth one is a list of abbreviations. This is a list of all abbreviations that you have used in your proposal. The main purpose of this list is to help the reader in understanding the abbreviation as per the context of your proposal. The next comes executive summary. It is considered to be the most valuable and important part of the proposal. The primary purpose of executive summary is to create interest about your proposal and help in convincing the donor that your proposal needs funds. In simple terms, it helps you sell your project. The executive summary should address the following questions. Why is the project important? What is the problem that you are addressing? How do you intend to resolve the problem? What is the total budget and duration of the project? What is your expertise? And last, what is the grant amount being requested? Next, we have problem statement. This is an important section of the proposal as it presents the argument of why your project needs funding. It describes the issues and problems that a particular community faces and how your organization would address the given problem. The primary purpose of this section of the proposal is to convince the donor that your project is important and the problem that you intend to solve is real. At the same time, it should also make the donor hopeful that his support can help in addressing the problem and practical solution exists to reduce the problem. The problem statement should address the 5 W's of who, when, where, what, how. The next we have is project description. This is the main narrative of your proposal. I'm sorry, I just need 1 minute of your time. The PPT got stuck in between. Thank you all for waiting. So, coming back to the topic project description. This is the main narrative of your project and provides the reader with all the necessary information of the project. This section of the proposal will have important elements of the proposal and will describe the project goal, objectives, methodology, impacts to the reader. The next we have is budget. As we all know that budget is a tool that is used to plan and control financial resources in a justified manner. Moreover, a budget is a financial plan for a defined period, often 1 year. It may also include planned sales, volumes, and revenues, resource quantities, costs and expenses, assets, liabilities, and cash flows. Your budget should be divided into categories such as salaries, fringe benefits, travel, supplies, and equipment. The next is organization profile. NGO profile is an important document that tells about the NGO, where it has come from, and where it is heading to, who all are guiding it, and who all are impacted by its action. The next component is logical framework matrix. This step should ideally be the first step when you are planning the project. Many people write the proposal first and then develop a logical framework, which completely defeats the purpose of logical framework. Developing logical framework matrix takes time, so do not wait for the last minute. Start collecting necessary information and keep enough time for conducting the different analytical process. The log frame should be concise, structured, and easy to understand. The last component in the structure of proposal and the last topic of our webinar today is annexure. It is the additional information that you wish to submit to the donor. All the additional documents and reports should be submitted as an appendix and should not be part of the main body of the proposal. So that's all for today's webinar. A reminder for you all, we are offering a 50% discount for premium membership for a limited time, and we encourage you to sign up for Funds for NGOs premium membership and get access to the newly launched feature of online training courses and learn from the experts about proposal writing, fundraising, and NGO management. To sign for this, please visit the registration link available in the chat box. Also, we are happy to announce that we have launched our new Funds for NGOs iOS and Android mobile app. Now you may download and log into your premium membership account instantly from your iPhone and Android mobile phones. The app will assist NGOs, development practitioners, and fundraisers in finding new donors, receiving regular grant updates, developing new skills for resource mobilization, and more. So, what are you waiting for? Log in to your premium membership account instantly from your phone. Also, if you have any questions or need any assistance or wish to share feedback, you can contact us at support@fundsforngos.org. You can also contact us by using the widget here. It is also available for free users. And our customer support system will generate a ticket for you to ensure that you receive an assured response. The link for sign up is available in the chat box. Now, as we have discussed at the beginning of the webinar, that we will have a quick Q&A session at the end. So, dear participants, get ready With your questions, a team of experts will try to clear your doubts as much as possible. In the meantime, I will try to read out the frequently asked questions and the questions that will benefit the majority of you. Dear participants, we have started receiving many queries, so I will start reading the Q&As for you all. The first question that we have is, when writing background or problem analysis, we need to write concrete, but there are many things need to be described as well. Any tips to make sure the background concrete but elaborated well? We have an excellent training video on problem analysis by our expert Cheryl Hooper. We suggest you visiting the Funds for NGOs Premium to access this course, and the video link we will share with you via email. Since we are loaded with your questions, so our team is selecting the frequently asked questions. Meanwhile, you can sign up for our premium membership to avail all the benefits that it offers to you. The second question that we have is, will we have access to the recording and PPT? Well, the recording of the webinar will be made available on our YouTube channel, and the copy of presentation slides will be shared with you all shared with all the registered participants via email. And you may also find the link of our YouTube channel in the chat box. The third question, can you directly take me to donors? Unfortunately, there is no easy answer for this. Our objective is to provide NGOs with information and empower them with knowledge and skills so that they can successfully raise funds on their own. And many a times, most of the users raise that question that, are you a funding agency? So for this question, I also want to answer that, we are not a funding organization. We only help NGOs to in their fundraising journey. That's it. We provide them with resources, but we are not a funding organization. Yes. Also, if you have query after this webinar, please contact us at support@fundsforngos.org. I repeat, support@fundsforngos.org. We got another question. Do these steps only apply when writing proposals to NGOs, or can they apply to private organizations too? These are standard steps used while applying for grants to all types of proposals. But I have mentioned in the webinar as well, that different donors have different formats, though the elements of the proposal application remain the same. So I hope you got your answer. Do you have to have been in operation for a certain period of time before applying for grants? Yes, most donors prefer to work with experienced NGOs, but there are some donors who prefer to work with new and small NGOs as well. You know, many a times we have such queries that our proposals getting rejected time and again. But you know, as I mentioned in the webinar today, that patience is the being patient is the key here. You need to be patient and try to work harder, because success is you know, success might take time, but your hard work always pay off. So never let yourself, being you know, never let yourself down in front of your eyes. You know, try to remain confident, because one day we know that success always, you know, touch our feet and come to us by hard work. And there are many NGOs, you know, whose proposals get rejected many times, but they never feel that they will not apply anymore. They just try again and again and again and again. And finally, the sun rises and they get success. So that's what I have to say to you all. The next query, okay. So we receive a query about elaborate on executive summary. Well, the executive summary has been discussed in our website, and we will share the link via email. The points that are already discussed in this webinar, or you know, or you have query about the components of the structure of a proposal, so you can visit to our website, or we can share the link with you via email. I have mentioned it before also, but if you have a query after this webinar, so you can contact us at support@fundsforngos.org. I repeat, support@fundsforngos.org. We have 10 minutes left of this Q&A session. So try to, you know, send your queries before the time gets over. Here we get one interesting question. We are not receiving response from agency. Well, funding agencies receive hundreds of email appeals every day. It is not possible for any human to respond to each one of them individually. What one needs is a proper fundraising plan and a strategy to gather the attention of the donor and ensure their response. So what you need to do is you need to plan the fundraising strategy and then try to gather the attention. Someone asked, what is Funds for NGOs Premium membership? Funds for NGOs Premium is a membership based service for NGOs, development practitioners, and fundraisers seeking to find new donors, receive regular grant updates, develop new skills for resource mobilization, and more. We encourage you to sign up for our premium membership, and the link will be available to you in the chat box. Can you give information about core funding? We cover information about different donors offering grants that includes core funding, but less and less donors now prefer not to provide core funding, but rather on building sustainability at the community level. Is there any alert system in Funds for NGOs premium membership? Yes, there is. Our specific email alert system covers grant information for more than 200 countries and 50 thematic areas of interest, like education, health, COVID-19, women empowerment, youth empowerment. Likewise, is Funds for NGOs Premium suitable for international NGOs? As I mentioned that we cover the information about 200 countries. So yes, Funds for NGOs Premium details donors in countries around the world and include details on the geographical focus of each funder. Funding opportunities are defined by their geographical availability, and funding opportunity alerts can be set up to cover more than one country. Funds for NGOs premium subscribers work in over 100 countries around the world, making it the perfect solution for any international fundraiser. Are there institutions that give loans to NGOs? Unfortunately, no, because NGOs are non-profit and they do not generate income. So loans are usually not extended. So, next question. What other steps could we ask funders to take to make the application process more inclusive or transparent? Thank you for raising this valid point. We are working with some donors to make the proposal selection process more transparent. We are launching a course soon that will guide you and that will guide NGOs to understand what goes inside a donor office and how proposals move from one stage to another during the selection process at the donor desk. We will keep you informed as soon as this course is available. And for that, you need to sign up for our premium membership. The link for that is available in the chat box. Well, we have last 4 minutes left for this Q&A session. So dear participants, please type in your queries so that our team could answer your questions. We need the list of the donors. Well, we suggest you to please join Funds for NGOs Premium to get donor list because many times serve we serve the whole internet and then it our search or our hard work goes in vain because we do not get the desired result. So Funds for NGOs Premium provide you the donor list at one place. So you no need to surf internet for a whole day and search for donors. How to write proposal. In fundraising, writing grant proposals is one of the most daunting tasks. The process demands tremendous research, understanding, and skills to prepare the best application. To help NGOs for this, we develop and publish proposal writing ebooks time to time so that the premium members can download them, read them, and receive a better experience of writing effective funding applications. Do you help in writing grant proposals and recommend where to submit them? We do not provide or we do not offer proposal writing services. Funds for NGOs Premium Standard provides ample quality resources to enable our members to draft their own proposals. We share a repository of sample proposals, training videos, feature articles, and downloadable guides on how to develop winning proposals for NGOs. We will take two questions more for today's session. I was looking for a powerful search engine to find donors. Well, the premium donor search feature works like a mini search engine, and I'm talking about the Funds for NGOs premium donor search feature. As soon as you define the search criteria and click on search, it scans the internet for the best possible matches of donor agencies based according to your interest and presents a list that you need. Well, we appreciate your significant participation in this Q&A session. If some of your questions get unanswered, please do not worry, as our team will follow up via email. Thank you so much for taking our time to participate in today's session. Soon we will be hosting the next webinar. Till then, stay healthy and stay safe. And remember to not to lose on hope. Good luck.